If I could get everybody's attention, we're going to go ahead and get started with the second half of our program here today. If we could, please, could we have a round of applause for our servers and our staff here today? Thank you very, very much. As we return to our program, we will again be doing so through the video presentations, and I will open us up with our first one here this afternoon. Up next in our program is the Champions of Character Award winners, and please direct your attention to the screen as we now introduce our Dr. Leroy Walker Champions of Character Award winner, Peyton Alexander from Loyola University, New Orleans.
Peyton Alexander is the recipient of this year's Dr. Leroy Walker Champions of Character Award. Peyton Alexander, baseball student athlete at Loyola University, has displayed incredible character, integrity, and grit through various challenges in his NAIA experience. His passion for others is evident through his natural mentorship of his peers and his philanthropic efforts abroad. Peyton believes that sportsmanship has not only enabled him to navigate the world honorably and fairly, but it has also allowed him to show grace and humility in the face of obstacles. While Peyton is no stranger to vocal leadership, he often leads by example, doing things to improve his environment even when someone may not be watching. As an NAIA All-American Honorable Mention and Honors Program baseball player, his work ethic is unmatched. Peyton is a tremendous example of the 5 core character values. He is recognized as a man of character because he will always push himself to give as much as he requires from someone else. Peyton has maintained a 3.82 GPA while majoring in biological sciences with a minor in psychology. He has been a dedicated leader not only on the field, but also in the classroom, and this scholastic commitment has earned him academic recognition both on campus and in his conference for multiple years. Peyton has stepped into leading his Student Athlete Advisory Committee as president for the upcoming year after serving as the secretary and then the vice president in previous terms. His aim, to leave a lasting impression on the landscape of Loyola athletics, can be highlighted in a multitude of ways. For his outstanding Champions of Character achievements, we recognize Peyton Alexander as the 2021 recipient of the Dr. Leroy Walker Champions of Character Award.
Went a little old school, got the hard copy for you guys. I just want to start off by saying thank you to the NAIA, National Sports Foundation, and those representing Dr. Leroy Walker for selecting me to be the recipient of the Champions of Character Award. Thank you to Coach Simpson, our athletic director, and Coach Jesse Zabal, our assistant athletic director, for coming with me to present me with this award today, for being some of my #1 supporters and always looking out for me in between and outside the lines. Love you guys. Also to our SID, Kamal Petro, for choosing to nominate me for this award in the first place. And also to the Southern States Athletic Conference and Commissioner Mike Hall for selecting me to represent the SSAC. To my parents, my sister, and the rest of the family I have here with me today. I've had the privilege of playing baseball for almost 20 years. They've all given me guidance and direction, not just athletically, but academically as well. They've taught me how to handle myself on and off the field, how to be a great teammate, leader, and friend. They've been the best role models a kid can ask for. Almost 10 years ago, I was severely injured in football practice. Some doctors thought that I'd lose my right leg. Some thought that I'd never be able to play sports again. These people right here, they showed me what I was capable of mentally, physically, and everything I accomplished in life's a credit to them. I'm forever in their debt for always being by my side through the ups and downs in life. So thank y'all with everything I have, and I love y'all. That injury has driven me to pursue a future in orthopedic surgery once this chapter in my life ends. To Coach Kennedy and Bruce back home, thank you for coming to New Orleans to turn our program around. Last year, our team was able to accomplish its first year regular season conference championship and opening round host. My accomplishments last year are all thanks to the teammates who bought into the culture change that Coach Bruce and Coach K set for us. Our goal was to go out and earn the respect of those we lined up against and I believe we were able to do just that. That's what we continue to strive to do today. Those 38 men held me to a high standard, pushed me to new limits, made me a better teammate and man, and for that, I'm forever grateful. There are many people that I could thank for pushing me to be the best student, player, and person I could be. Countless professors, coaches, more friends and family, of course, especially those here today. But I hope they know how appreciative I am of them and all they've done for me. I'm truly blessed and honored to be mentioned alongside everything Dr. Walker stands for, let alone be the recipient for this award. Of all the things I've accomplished in life, this will definitely be the most cherished and remembered. I hope I can embody the ideals Dr. Walker has set before us for the rest of my life. Thank you all for the warmer welcome. Once again, congrats to all the award winners today. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of the banquet. Thank you, God bless, and go Pack.
The recipient of the 2021 NAIA Coach of Character Award is Jeff Bowen of Arizona Christian University. Coach Jeff Bowen is in his 6th season at Arizona Christian and has compiled an overall record of 36-14, tallying a winning record each year as a head coach. He relentlessly implements character through leadership and spiritual development for his team and professional development for his staff. Former student athletes describe him as a father to the fatherless, a counselor to the hurt, and a role model to all of us. His steadfast leadership remains a source of wisdom, direction, and strength for those in this program. One of his customs is to integrate their team's core values, the 12, the uncommon storm, at the beginning of each practice. This activity teaches student athletes to create a culture where their individuality and spirituality can connect to practice, the team, and their daily lives. Coach Bowen believes this helps his student athletes learn that their faith should not be compartmentalized, but rather a part of them as the individual. Coach Bowen has impacted the lives of hundreds of young men as he's coached and mentored. He's implemented a peer mentoring program, co-facilitated a weekly leadership council, and held regular Bible studies for his coaches on staff. His colleagues have stated that they have never experienced a coach or program do more to develop the entire person than Coach Bowen. He is a proud husband and the father of 3 children and 3 grandchildren. In recognition of his dedication to character, the NAIA congratulates Coach Jeff Bowen, recipient of the 2021 NAIA Coach of Character Award.
Appreciate you leading off. Worked out well. There's so many people I'd like to thank, but first of all, just need to say I need to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. October 13th, 1998, in a small church in Redeemed International in Peoria, Arizona, my eyes were opened. I was led to the Lord by my pastor, M.L. Moody, who's still my pastor today. Changed the calling on my life and how I approach coaching young men, leading them through Christ in the sport of football. Faith, family, future football is what we talk about at ACU all the time. It's the pillars of our program. That's the foundation of a process, and through those pillars, we feel like we can carry out the NAIA core values. I'd like to thank President Munsell for his view and his vision for our university of transforming culture with truth. In today's society, I think we need more and more of that daily. Our Director of Athletics, Dr. Pete Dreyer, who's here today, leading our department, not just in football, but an overall vision for the university, building sports through Christ, and it's an integral part of what we do. A special thanks to my wingman, Randy Chambers, wise man, and our spiritual leader of our football team. I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for Randy, because he really helps me and guides me through the process of what's best for these young men in the process. Best staff in the world, true leaders of the program, and their dedication makes the Firestorm what they are. And a special thanks to all our players. We've only been around for 8 short years, and we've been able to put ACU on the NAI football map, and that's been a pleasure. My family, my wife Heather, who's with me, God blessed me with the best supporter, friend, mother, husband could have. She's my one and only, and awesome to travel through a 35-year coaching career with someone that understands what it takes, and it may be away from the family. To my children, Brennan, Morgan, Hannah, Kristen, and Jeremiah, Dad just says, I love you. And you guys are great supporters and fans. To my now four grandchildren, Peapot will be home tomorrow, and we'll hang out. And then just in closing, Galatians 6:9, I'd like to share with you. And it's real simple, and I share it with my players all the time. In this crazy world, just don't grow weary in doing good, for in due season you will reap if you do not lose heart. God bless. Thank you.
The 2021 Athletic Trainer of the Year award winner is BJ Gisa of Southeastern University. This award recognizes a NATA certified athletic trainer at an NAI institution who has distinguished themselves as a model of the profession in personal conduct and professional allied health service to the NAI student athletes. As the head athletic trainer for Fire Athletics teams, BJ Gisa provides oversight to the healthcare delivery for nearly 450 student athletes. He was also recently named the 2021 Sun Conference Athletic Trainer of the Year. Aside from the increased workload placed on athletic trainers this past academic year, with all championship seasons being conducted in the spring, BJ served on the NAI Athletic Trainers Association board and as one of 4 NAI athletic trainers on NATA's Intercollegiate Sports Medicine Council. Drew Watson, Southeastern University Director of Athletics, says of Gisa, quote, BJ kept our department running smoothly during this COVID season. The manner in which he conducts himself with coworkers and colleagues around the conference and the country should be a model for every ATC. Sacrifice, integrity, and a sense of humor have not only served to get him through the year, but have positively affected those around him, especially during a very trying and emotional time. He's an exceptional professional, an outstanding person, and well-deserving of this award. In recognition for his overwhelming support in keeping NAI student-athletes in the game, BJ Gisa is the recipient of the 2021 Athletic Trainer of the Year.
Goat yoga. Don't knock it till you try it. First off, just want to thank the NAI, the Athletic Trainers Association, for this recognition. There are so many colleagues of mine that I know are just as, if not more worthy, over the last couple of years with everything that athletic trainers have been tasked to do that we definitely were not ever taught or prepared on how to do when it comes to COVID protocols, testing, screenings, all of those things. So to be honored with this recognition at this time, puts a lot more, even more value, and for that I am much appreciative. My sincerest gratitude to previous athletic directors that I've had the pleasure of working with, Mr. Jeff Schimmelfenning and Coach Gary Newsom. Thank you for your wisdom in dealing with me and helping me mold who I am today. Drew, special thank you for the last 4 years, for just everything that we've been through, from standing over a injured athlete in an ICU and praying for her and her recovery, to dealing with COVID issues and mental health. The list goes on. I don't know if I tell you enough how much I appreciate you. Colleagues, friendships, memories, and advice are such a continued support system in keeping that drive for optimal student care. To my close friends, some of you who are sitting here, keep being you. I appreciate it. To my staff, who I probably wouldn't be here from that recognition because of how hard they work and make me look good. To my parents, for their love and support through all of this, through my career, unwavering, always there to help watch my kids with the crazy hours, so thank you to them. To my wife, Chelsea, who has put up with more, hey, I'm gonna be late, or sorry, this just came up, and every time she's acknowledged it, may not have been happy about it, but has been understandable in the same way. You truly are a blessing that only God could have put in my life. And to my kids, Van, Bryn, and Walker, for their unconditional love and support through all this. I'd be in trouble if I didn't put their names in there. So except for the 2 years of grad school, all I've known is the NAIA. And I couldn't be more thankful for that. My education program 20 years ago could not have prepared me for everything that I've been through. And I think it's those relationships that I've built over these years that have helped myself get through any of those trying times, but also maximize the student care that I've been able to provide along with my colleagues, and for that I'm forever thankful.
Donnie Smith of Southeastern University is this year's recipient of the NAIA Sports Information Director of the Year Award. With this honor, Donnie Smith becomes the first person in the history of the award to earn it twice. Donnie has served in his role at Southeastern for the past 8 years and has a highly decorated history of serving both Fire Athletics and the Sun Conference. Over the past year, Southeastern's athletics website was ranked number 6 in the NAIA by his peers across the country in the annual NAIA Side-Up Publications Contest. Donnie, no stranger to covering his student athletes at a high level, has overseen successful campaigns that have landed multiple Southeastern student athletes in Sports Illustrated's Faces in the Crowd section. Additionally, he has a 2-time recipient of the Sun Conference's SID of the Year Award, handed out annually by the SIDs in the conference. Donnie currently serves as the NAIA SIDA First Vice President and is in rotation to become the association's president in 2024. He has served on the board as an at-large member since 2017 prior to rising to First Vice President. In addition to his work at Southeastern, Donnie was the pronouncer for the 2021 Central Florida Spelling Bee, which was a qualifier for the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Further, the IU South Bend grad serves as the official scorer in the MLB Florida Complex League. Donnie's willingness to assist the conference is second to none. He is one that I, without hesitation, will call on for feedback, advice, and suggestions, said Paul Dotson, the Sun Conference Director of Communications. Quote, his past experiences in dealing with league matters make him a vital person within the conference and one who understands the big picture when promoting our student athletes. In honor of his excellence and dedication to sports information, Donnie Smith is this year's recipient of the 2021 Sports Information Director of the Year Award.
Take this out of BJ mode. It was May of 2015, and I was sitting in my end-of-year evaluation following my second year on the job. Our athletic director, Drew Watson, had just gotten back from this convention and had talked about hearing from the great Rob Huizinga as the inaugural SID of the Year winner. During our meeting, he talked about expecting me to one day win the award and challenged me to get to this level. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." I'm grateful to be surrounded by people that believe more in words of life than in words of death. So many people have listened and invested so much in me, and many times I've even struggled to understand why. Why me? I mean, honestly, a lot of times I wouldn't be my own first choice. But thankfully, many people have believed in me long before I ever did and took the time to encourage and assist. Among those are people that were here today. First, my wife, Kelly. She's been my biggest fan and counselor. And like BJ said, she's the one that has to manage the most, the road trips, the long nights. More often than not, this job can kind of come at her expense. She's always taken the time to check in with me wherever I'm at and see how I'm doing. My mom, who missed out on this last time due to a freak snowstorm in April, which helped a lot of people understand why I moved to Florida. She left a week early this time to make sure that she did not miss this. Nothing was going to stop her from being here, just like there isn't anything that she wouldn't do for me. Unfortunately, my dad couldn't make it this time. He's a CPA, and we're 8 days away from the tax deadline. Also, with the IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center being right around the corner back here, it's probably best that he's back in Indiana right now. I learned a tireless work ethic from him, which has helped me get through the tough parts of every season. Additionally, professionally, Chris Wells from Lindsey Wilson, who I tailed into an awards luncheon at COSIDA in 2014 to make sure I could sit at his table and pick his brain on some football-related aspects of the job. Cindy Potter from Columbia, who provided opportunities and encouraged me to get involved in our organization. She did so by blocking the exit from a meeting room and didn't let us leave until we signed up for committees. Brad Sagan from the NAI, who I can always call with any crazy idea I have to talk through it, and he won't judge me more than he already does if it turns out to be a terrible one. I've been blessed to share an office with an incredibly dedicated and talented group that is back home recovering from working 6 games the last 2 days while I've been here being celebrated for their accomplishments. This is not an individual award by any stretch, but a team award that I get to share with Andrew Tu, Sam Holcomb, Jair James, Mark McCollum, and many other student interns, student workers that hold themselves to a high standard and can stand working with me. While I'll never be able to repay those that have helped me to get to this point, hopefully someday I'll be in a position to encourage and speak positive things into someone's life and help them reach their potential. Thank you.
Craig Dyer of Indiana Tech is the 2021 recipient of the Wally Schwartz Faculty Athletics Representative of the Year Award. This award, in honor of the past Vice President of NAI Legislative Services and the NAI Hall of Famer, Wally Schwartz, looks to recognize a faculty athletics representative who exemplifies the loyalty, enthusiasm, and honesty that Mr. Schwartz showed on behalf of the NAIA. Craig Dyer serves as Indiana Tech's faculty athletics representative and has been a steadfast advocate for Warrior student athletes as well as the NAIA. Craig has been an active member of the NAIA Council for Faculty Athletic Representatives since 2016, serving on the WAC Eligibility Committee as a faculty advisor to Indiana Tech's Fellowship of Christian Athletes chapter and the Sports Management Society student organization. Professor Dyer is known for being very giving of his time and willingness to serve on any committee or task force, both locally and at the national level. Others speak of his ability to be a leader and provide valuable insight at his institution, conference, and national level. His awareness of the long-term implications of policy proposals is humbly offered but greatly valued by his peers. Professor Dyer shares a common bond of loyalty, enthusiasm, and honesty for working with student athletes to ensure they enjoy the collegiate athletic experience, honoring the legacy of Wally Schwartz. For his exemplary work, we recognize Craig Dyer as the 2021 Wally Schwartz Faculty Athletics Representative of the Year.
It's extremely humbling to accept this award today in honor of Wally Schwartz, who had a near 30-year tenure with the NAIA. So thank you very much to the nominating committee and the selection committee. In 2007, then president of Indiana Tech, Art Snyder, asked me to serve as the FAR, and as a tenure-seeking junior faculty member, of course I said yes, not knowing that I wouldn't learn much until I came to one of these events and received so much education, because prior to that they said, oh, all you have to do is sign a few documents every semester. So yeah, it's good to come to convention, that is for sure. So I met some people along the way that I want to recognize. Larry Boss, Assistant Commissioner of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Thank you, sir, for being a mentor and a friend and someone who I could call in a moment of desperation, and Larry would talk me off the ledge. Also, Rob Miller for modeling the way, our commissioner of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Rob is such a great role model. Also, I need to give thanks to Brenda White and her team in Legislative Services. You do such a fantastic job in pulling us out and through this COVID situation with so many COVID exemptions, and also guiding CFAR through all of this has been just really, truly remarkable. So thank you, Brenda. I want to thank our eligibility team. We've heard a lot about teamwork and being on a team today through our award winners, our student athlete award winners, but when it comes to eligibility, you need a good team as well. And we don't play on the court or field anymore. A lot of us used to, but our team is just as eager to help and support one another as any good athletic team is. And it starts with our leadership of President Carl Einhoff, our athletics director, Jesse Biggs, and our associate athletics director for compliance, David Bocart. They are fantastic, and I accept this award today as a member of that team. So thank you all very much, and thank you for listening to me today. God bless, and thank you.
The 2021 Charles Morris Administrator of the Year Award goes to Steve Jones of the Carroll College. This honor, which was created in memory of the former NAIA Associate Executive Director Charles Morris, recognizes an NAIA member who has made significant contributions as an administrator of intercollegiate athletics, while also exemplifying the loyalty and enthusiasm which Mr. Morris had for the association. Steve Jones loyally served as the backbone of the Carroll College Fighting Saints for over 36 years, most recently as the Director of Athletics Operations and Facilities, where he managed Carroll's athletic events and oversaw the upkeep of facilities before retiring in June of 2021. His Saints career began back in 1985 when he started out as a strength coach and athletic trainer, while also serving as an assistant football coach, helping Carroll to win 3 national championships. His contributions have gone far beyond event management, facilities, and working directly with the student athletes, as Steve was a board member and president of the Century Club, the premier fundraiser for Carroll College athletics, from 1992 to 2000. He helped launch the first Carroll Athletics auction, which helped support Saints athletic scholarships and helped generate over $1 million for student athletes during his tenure. Steve helped open one of the premier and most distinguishable NAI football facilities in Nelson Stadium in 2001, as he was a part of the conceptualization and planning of the stadium and also served as its chief of maintenance over the years. He coordinated the new seating in the Carroll College PE Center and oversaw the replacement of 2 basketball floors in the venue. Steve always took pride in finding ways to improve the experience for Carroll College student athletes and made a career of it by dedicating himself to the cause. For his outstanding work and dedication to the NAIA, we recognize Steve Jones as the Charles Morris Administrator of the Year Award.
Well, thank you, everyone. Trying to not be redundant. You know, when you get towards the end of the program, everyone said all the profound things, right? And so trying not to be redundant here, but there are some things you got to go through to get to it, as they say. First, I'd like to introduce my table over here because it's very important people to me. We start off with the president of our school, Dr. Seck, is there. And then we go to the commission of the Frontier Conference, Kent Paulson and his wife, Joan. And then we can get down to Charlie Gross, standing up here with me as our athletic director, and then other members of my family. Alex Casson and his new fiancee, Sarah, are here. He's coaching in this part of the country now. He became a member of the family like all of our athletes did over the years. He coached at Carroll after his career on the national championship football teams, by the way. Then my son, Chris, and his wife, Angie. And Chris was also a member of one of our national championship football teams. I was fortunate enough to get to coach. So at any rate, interestingly enough, and by the way, weather-wise, we drove from Helena, Montana. Yeah, thanks. Blizzard, 80-mile-an-hour winds, you know, and so it was quite an adventure for us. All you people in athletics and traveling to sporting events, I know you know what that's like, right? Everybody here has been in some really inclement weather, you know, as we travel. You know, it comes to mind after 37 years actually in athletics, I got asked these questions repeatedly now, is, well, what kept you going and what made you do it? And I said, the students, the student athletes, the young men and women we get to be around was the motivation to me. You know, I've never been really big on honoring movie stars and actors and people like that, you know, respect them for what they accomplish. But I find people that I really, really admire and appreciate are the people who do their jobs every day and do it relentlessly and do it with a good heart and a good mind. And our student athletes at the NAI level, I think, represent that every day, all the time. And so they were my motivation, you know. Over the years, my wife, Pam, who's the last person I was going to introduce over there, I didn't forget her, I promise. And she said, don't use your coaching voice. You know, most parents say, hey, where's your inside voice? My wife used to say when I came home, no coaching voice. Chris doesn't know what that's like, my son. You know, typically we wouldn't use a microphone in a room this size, okay, because it would be redundant. My wife Pam and my family grew up at Carroll College over those 37 years. Every birthday party, okay, every holiday, swimming pool, out in the gym, playing sports and doing things. They chased basketballs, footballs around. Fortunately, you know, Chris at least got to play there and graduate from Carroll College in engineering. So for me, this lifelong journey has been about the kids. Yeah, you know, if we keep in mind sometimes, you know, jobs become jobs, don't they? Every day you get up and you go to work. You get up and go to work. Well, we always said we have to remember why we're going to work and what our point is. Our point was to try to make a difference in some young person's life. And to be honest with you, we got more out of it than they did. My wife was my cheer coach. Pam and I have painted every wall in the athletic facility over 37 years, including the gym. You know, and it was a labor of love. You know, my kids all worked there, came up, made cotton candy before games and concessions, and did things. And Carroll College provided that opportunity for us to share our lives with our student athletes. And it made all the difference in the world. That has been our life. And we've gotten a lot out of it. As Alex can attest to, he comes from Coeur d'Alene. You know, once you're at Carroll, you're a member of the family, member of our family. Alex used to show up for barbecues on Sundays all the time. You know, so it's pretty interesting. One thing we do is feed people well, huh, Alex? So our life has been a real pleasure and an honor to be involved with NAI and the student athletes, and it's a tremendous learning tool to help these young people have good lives. And so we're very honored to have been part of that, and congratulations to all the former winners here today. And quite frankly, I believe all you people that are in athletics, I honor you because I think you're doing a very, very, very important job in our society. And it's a job to be honored, is mentoring and working with young people and making a difference in their lives. Thank you.
Bill Popp is the recipient of the 2021 NAI Athletic Director of the Year Award. In 18 years as the athletics director at Reinhardt, Popp has proven to be a steadfast leader to his university, coaches, administration, student athletes, and the NAI membership. Under Popp's leadership, the Eagles earned the 2020-21 Appalachian Athletic Conference Edward Walker All-Sports Trophy, which recognizes the AAC's most successful all-around sports program each year. Reinhardt took home 11 regular season or conference championships, sent 14 programs to NAI national championships, and took home their 4th consecutive men's lacrosse Red Banner. Even more impressive, Reinhardt produced 162 AAC all-academic student athletes during the 2020-21 academic year. Off the field, Popp was instrumental in guiding his conference and the NAI National Administrative Council through a challenging year. Popp serves as the vice president of the AAC, is the conference representative on the NAI's Athletics Director Association Board of Directors, and also served as the chair of the NAC during the 2020-21 academic year. Popp completed his most crucial work as NAC chair, helping to lead the NAI and its membership through numerous rule changes due to COVID-19 and mapping out a course on how to navigate a severely condensed national championship calendar. Beyond his leadership roles, Popp launched #FinishRUStrong Scholarship Fund for returning fifth-year seniors. In addition, Popp led the charge to upgrade Reinhardt's athletic facilities as the university just replaced the turf at Ken White Field, built a new baseball press box, and added a new state-of-the-art sound system to Brown Gymnasium. Popp also oversaw locker room renovations for Reinhardt's wrestling and baseball programs. For his leadership, Popp has been named the Appalachian Athletic Director of the Year 4 times. Additionally, Popp was named the NACTA Athletics Director of the Year in 2016-17 and the NAI Athletics Director of the Year in 2017-18. On top of all of his responsibilities leading Reinhardt University's athletics, Popp recently earned a master's degree in sports administration and leadership during the pandemic and works as a consultant for small private institutions. In recognition of his outstanding accomplishments within his institution's athletic department, we award Bill Popp the 2021 Athletic Director of the Year Award.
Really old school, lots of pages, big writing, right? And that goat yoga thing, who's that over there? We got to get together on that one too. Right on, right on. Let me start by saying I'm honored and humbled to be here with you guys today. Just can't say enough about that. As you know, I've changed jobs. I will be leaving the athletic director role. I've turned it over to Jeffrey Portier, and so I'm into enrollment in financial aid now. So welcome to that world, right? I also want to congratulate all the rest of the honorees today. What a great group of people that I am associated with today, so congratulations to everybody there. So I'm glad we're able to be back together today and find some of these moments where we can unwind with our friends and our colleagues, share our challenges and our successes with our peers to find the best ways to move forward and continue to have great experiences for our students. That's what it's all about. We're definitely stronger together. Let me begin by thanking as many people as I can today, not only for support showed me this past year, but support my entire career. Starts with Dr. Mark Roberts, president of Reinhardt University, for trusting me to build teams, facilitate growth at Reinhardt, and for his friendship and leadership at Reinhardt University. To Jeffrey Portier, athletic director at Reinhardt University. He's my go-to guy. But more than that, he's my true friend. To my Reinhardt family, thank you for what you do. You make Reinhardt a very special place with your energy and your commitment to excellence. To my colleagues in the NAI, and especially in the AAC, thanks for all you do to create great experiences for student athletes and for friendships and bonds that have been the strength that's pulled us together through these recent tough times. To NAI President Jim Carr and the national office staff for their tireless efforts for supporting every one of us and for the difficult and courageous decisions that they have had to make during the pandemic. Special shout out to Mike Higgins and Nathan Doctor and Chesney Salih, Brenda White, for their counsel on those weekly NAC meetings over the last couple of years. We've had so many peaks and valleys, and we certainly didn't have a roadmap to follow. To the members of the executive team of the NAC that I served with and that have acted so gracefully in a time that needed strong leadership and decision-making, Rob Cashel, Chad Briscoe, Donnie Mayfield, Eric Ward, Corey Westra, Lori Thomas, Keith Spataro, Dustin Wilkie, and Christian Oberquell, thank you for the work that you did. To Colonel John Sullivan, just give me a second here. If you haven't heard, at the end of this year, he'll be retiring. Thank you for all you've done for me, for the AAC, and for the NAI. One thing I know we can all agree on here is when we talk about core values and a champions of character, John Sullivan's who we should set our examples by. Finally, to my wife, Jennifer, son, Noah, who are here with me today, I say thank you for your support and understanding and listening to my daily ramblings, even though sometimes you don't want to hear them. Sometimes they're negative, most of the time they're positive, and for being so invested in my life in college athletics. I love you both. It's an understatement to say that what we've been through in the last 2 years is more than not a challenge. But I want to respectfully say thank you to everyone in the room for the work and the effort that's gone into providing the best experiences again for our students that we love. We have done this with grace and class in the face of a no-win situation. We've pivoted, we've been nimble, we've adjusted to the circumstance. We played games, we hosted tournaments, we traveled, we masked, we tested, we Zoomed. Yeah, we Zoomed. We had to rethink athletic operations. We shut down only to start again. And we've been doing that for 5 semesters. We are stronger together. Our football coach recently said in a speech in front of some recruits that he comes to work with energy every day, and he really does. If you know him, he brings a lot. And he has a good attitude, and he makes sure that happens no matter what else is happening in his life. And he has 3 children under 6. He does that because he has an expectation of his staff and his team to do that as well, and he models that for them. But it's a challenge, and we all know that's a challenge, but I challenge you to bring that same effort and energy every day to your student athletes as an athletic director. That's what they need, that encouragement and that love that you support them and you give them that great experience. While I know we're still in a pandemic and we still have many hurdles to jump, I think we can all agree that there isn't much that this great organization known as the NAI can't do, and especially when we're able to come back together like we are today. Finally, I'd like to take a minute to recognize 2 others that deserve to be up here giving a speech similar to me over the last 2 years, but were denied that because of the pandemic. Drew Watson and Jason Horn, will you stand up? Yeah. To me, this represents the last 2 years of us being apart and shows just how much it means for us to be back together, and that no matter what the circumstances we're facing, we'll work together to find answers and then celebrate our successes like we are today. We are stronger together. I'm so thankful to be part of a great organization and so fortunate to get to work with all you. Thank you so very much. God bless.
Our last award today is our Hall of Fame award. And this kind of goes full circle for me. Back in the late 90s, I was a sports information director, and I went to Coast Side at convention, and I met this man by the name of Scott Cummings. And he left an impact on me. And today we honor Scott. We honor him with the highest honor of the NAI. I'm going to introduce Brad Sagan, who is the director of the Athletics Communications Department at the NAIA. Scott passed away in 2020. His impact to NAI athletics has been great, and Brad is going to introduce our first video and make some comments. Brad?
Thank you, Corey. It's hard to talk about the history of sports information in the NAI without the mention of Scott Cummings. Over the course of his career, Scott's name was not only synonymous with excellence in this profession, but the character values that have defined the NAI for decades. I'm very proud to present this tribute to a friend and a mentor that has helped shape the careers of so many here in the NAI.
Scott fully embraced his role and his involvement as a sports information director and put himself in the shoes of all of our student athletes, all of our coaches, and he kind of taught everybody how to celebrate success. And so what we like to preach in this department is essentially doing that, is celebrating success.
Scott was a dear friend of mine, and he did incredible stuff for McKendree and myself and my program.
Scott and I talk extensively just about college football, college basketball, just sports. And when I had my first head coach debut, in between set 2 and 3, before I walked out, he would play Thunderstruck every single time, and it was just tradition. I'll never forget it.
I think some of the biggest things I'll remember about Scott are 2:30 in the morning on a bus coming back from an away game. Everybody's asleep. The entire bus is dark except for one laptop and a huge 64-ounce Diet Coke, working on a story. Might not even be for football, So just workaholic, love McKendree, love the people, love the coaches, the players, anything. Scott was one in a million.
Knew every stat you could imagine. I would ask him random off-the-wall questions, and bam, he would know the stat, he would know the school, he would know the mascot. It was amazing. Yeah, he was just a great person. Again, he was here. You call him Mr. McKendree half the time. He was here all the time. He was a very awesome individual, and he has been missed dearly.
I've probably seen Scott more than anybody on this campus, just because of the late hours that we worked. He was a friend, and I respected how much of a family man he was.
What I miss most about Scott is during games, he sat right on the row, and he was like another assistant in my ear. Definitely miss him. Definitely miss having him kind of in my ear during games.
It's hard to not get emotional when I think of what Scott Cummings meant to McKendree, to the NAI, to many communicators across the country, and to me. In his final days, Scott called me, and it was an emotional talk for both of us, as he knew it would be the last time we talked. Along with many supportive and caring things, he said he had to rub it in one last time, that the Bearcats beat the Cougars the last time we played. I won't ever forget that game, or him, and the difference he made on this world.
Please join us in congratulating Paula Cummings, who's with us today, on Scott's behalf. And we're going to continue as we have with our formal introduction now into the Hall of Fame for Scott Cummings. To the video board, please.
The late Scott Cummings of McKendree University was a highly respected member of the college athletics communications industry for many years and was synonymous with the NAIA in the countless ways he served the association. Cummings spent his last 22 years as the sports information director at McKendree and also had an 8-year stint as the SID at his alma mater in Union College, Kentucky, before his untimely passing in December 2020 after an 18-month battle with throat cancer. His contributions to the NAIA over his 30-year career include serving as a media coordinator, a statistician, and a mentor to new SIDs and many NAIA staff. Cummings served as the NAIA Division I Men's Basketball National Championship Media Coordinator for 15 years, and also worked in the same capacity for the NAIA Championships at women's golf, men's wrestling, and outdoor track and field. Additionally, he was the official statistician at the NAIA Football National Championship for 13 years, from 1999 to 2011. Cummings also served as the Mid-South Conference Football Information Director, NAIA Region 5 Information Director, Mid-South Conference Baseball and Softball Information Director, American Midwest Conference Sports Information Director, and Basketball Public Address Announcer at Washington University in St. Louis. He wrote thousands of press releases, traveled thousands of miles, mentored limitless individuals, and called the play-by-play for hundreds of games, including a streak of 295 consecutive football games dating back to 1992 and his days at Union. Cummings also served as the Gateway Grizzlies official scorer since 2012 and was the second longest tenured member of the Grizzlies press box staff. Cummings received the NAIA's Clarence Ike Pearson Award in 2005, the highest honor that can be given to an SID at the NAIA level, and was recognized in 2020 with the College Sports Information Directors of America 25-year award for his longtime commitment and service to the athletics communications profession. He was a winner of 57 NAIA SIDA Publication Contest Awards, including 10 first-place awards, and was a two-time Mid-South Conference Sports Information Director of the Year. He was a member of COSIDA and NAIA SIDA for 30 years and served as president of the NAIA Sports Information Directors from 2003 to 2005. Following his passing, the American Midwest Conference changed the naming of the conference's annual Sports Information Director of the Year award in honor of the late Cummings. He was also inducted into the McKendree Hall of Fame in 2021. An avid New York Yankees, New York Giants, and New Jersey Devils fan, Cummings enjoyed spending time with his family and supporting his children while playing sports. Some of his favorite memories include getting to work with his daughter Haley at the scorer's table at McKendree and son Ryan at McKendree and Gateway Grizzlies games. The impact Cummings had on the NAIA, the sports information industry, and every individual he encountered will be felt and remembered for generations to come. It is for his lifelong dedication and loyalty to McKendree University, Union College, and the NAIA that we bestow Scott Cummings with the association's highest honor, induction into the NAIA Hall of Fame.
Please welcome to the stage Paula Cummings, along with Chris Mitchell.
Thank you. I am a person of very few words, and please bear with me. Scott, for those of you who know him, where he would be honored, he would feel that he is not deserving of this, but he is very deserving. And I want to thank everyone who joined us to come for Scott to get this award, and thank everyone at the NAIA. Scott loved the NAIA, and he loved working the basketball tournament probably the most. He loved Media Row, and he loved everything that he did. But what he loved most was seeing the success of every athlete that he ever came in contact with at each school that he was with. He enjoyed their success more than anything else. So thank you all.
That concludes our awards banquet here today. Thank you to all who spoke. Congratulations to all the honorees, amazing representatives of your institutions, your campuses, your conferences. So again, congratulations. We're going to close our time together as we welcome up another member of the Association of Student Athletes, Timmy King, from Hope International, for some final words. Timmy?
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be honest, that whole time I felt like I was going really slow walking up, so the Jeopardy theme song was playing in my head the whole time, but it's totally fine. To all that I haven't met yet, my name is Timmy King, and I am a junior basketball player at HIU. And before I begin in this final prayer, I want to tell you guys a few of the reasons why I chose HIU and why I chose the NAIA for my college career. Ever since I was a little kid, my ultimate goal in life was to become a college athlete. Everything that I did in the pursuit of this goal. I got good grades for this. I traveled the country for sports for this goal. And I never regretted it any step of the way. My whole childhood was centralized around this idea that if I did well enough and if I did all the right things, I could be the first person in my family to go to college. It was something that I prided myself on. I prided myself for having a big goal and for having the drive and determination to do so. So as I went into the summer before my senior year of high school, my life had been taken over by college tours and recruiting tournaments. Whether it was for water polo or basketball, I kept feeling like the schools I was visiting and the schools I was interested in were missing something. Now, don't get me wrong. These were beautiful campuses with enough shiny stuff to amaze any 16-year-old girl. But none of them ever gave me that feeling of belonging, that feeling of a second home. I come from a very small country town in Northern California, a town that prides itself on values, family, and community. I wanted to go to a school that had those same values, that made me feel like it was okay to leave my family and friends behind so that I can work on myself as a person and know that I was in the right hands. A college that would make me a better person by the time that I was done. Then, by the grace of God, I stumbled upon HIU when I was playing in a basketball tournament in Southern California. When my now assistant coach first approached me, he first asked me about my GPA and about my test scores. I remember being so impressed in that moment because it was the first time a coach or a recruiter or anyone had come up to me and was wondering about the student athlete, not just the athlete themselves. And it was the first time the first question was, how many rebounds do you get a game? And do you foul out every game? I mean, the answer was yes to the second one, but we don't like to talk about it. And it was when I stepped into the gym at HIU, and it was when I saw the Champions of Character banner hanging on the wall, highlighting integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership, that I finally felt that feeling. I knew that this place had the same values that I had at home. I knew that this school was going to encourage me to become closer with God and to become a better person so that I could then serve my community. That feeling that this was the place, this conference, this organization that would make me the person that I wanted to be. Though I did not know it then, it was the very people in this room that made my dream possible. From President Carr himself to my very own athletic director, John Turek, it was your faith and vision in a truly transformational organization that helped create the almost college graduate that I am today. I am beyond blessed to have ever come so far. More so, I am beyond blessed to have an organization as amazing as this one that supports student athletes like no other. From the bottom of my heart, I ask God to bless every single individual in this room. You are the ones creating new futures for people like me. And so I would like to leave this with a passage from number 6, and it was the first priestly benediction. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amen to that. Thank you again for your attendance at this session, our awards luncheon. My thanks goes out to Mutual of Omaha. Thank you for being a part of this, again, for so many years to honor life's moments as you pride yourself on here in the NAIA and in your organization. Ladies and gentlemen, you are dismissed. Thank you again for coming out. Thank you to the staff for putting together a great program today. God bless you all, and we'll see you around the convention.